Hello and welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with your budgie boys Tim and Owie, hydrated by Hairy Man Brewery. And remember, always drink responsibly and never drink and drive.
That's your new tag, isn't it?
For legal purposes, yes.
Was that something that we spoke about in the pre-season meetings?
In the production meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there.
No, either was Woodo. It was just me.
And you decided that...
Our executive producer never attends. He's not even here tonight. I don't know who's running the camera.
Well, Timmy, I think you've got... It's a Panasonic.
Yeah, it's a 3C CD. Now, this predates HD.
Yes.
But it is way better quality. I love this camera.
Well, can I go over there and do the tight and wide?
No.
I do.
Actually, it comes with a remote. We could be riding the zoom.
The zoom in, how's it going? I think the microwave, the famous Samsung microwave, has got the camera today.
And by the way, hello.
To our very special guest, Robbie Meldrum. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. How you going, guys? How you doing?
That should be in the next...
The Bodice 100.
The Bodice,
yeah. Hopefully that gets one.
Oh,
really excited.
Number one?
Yeah,
you reckon that is number one? Out of everything we've recorded, your Haloop is going to be number one.
Well, it's early days. This is our first guest for 2000 and... What year is it? 2020.
You believe it or not, Tim.
It's the roaring 20s.
That's what I said, yeah. We are now living in what we would have called as kids the future.
It's like the Jetsons. My misso's always taking extra money from my wallet, and then I go, no, and then she drops out of my flying car.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my flying hoverboard. I'm a little bit upset I don't have one yet.
Now, Robbie, you're a lot younger than us. Did you watch the Jetsons growing up?
I watched the movie, The Jetsons.
There's a movie?
Yeah, it came out in like 2005.
Who's in it?
I don't know.
Is it live action?
No, it's cartoon.
Cartoon movie, okay. So it's not like the Flintstones when John Goodman played Fred.
I think it's like a version of that.
That's good. I got to watch that.
It wasn't good.
But how about Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, of course. It's on Channel 9 like every 3 months, so you sort of have to watch it.
That's true. Michael J. Fox. He's a stud. I love that guy. You're not a fan? Yeah. Have you seen Teen Wolf?
No.
And then he scores the winning goal, and he realizes he wasn't a wolf. He did it as a human.
Is this a what's his name? What's the guy from the Happy Days?
Ron Howard.
Is this a Ron Howard film?
Yeah.
Sounds like a Ron Howard film.
Did I mention his friend is a talking pie?
Yeah, well, that's right.
Anyways,
You've done it again.
And then he found $5?
He did find $5.
Oh, that's a good movie.
There should be a movie about finding $5
and what you can do with it.
and what you can.
Isn't
do
that that's
with...
an episode of The Simpsons? One of your favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Was it 21 short films?
Yeah, that's right.
And they find money and they get a squishy
Right next to groin. Or Balling Groin.
Yeah,
the film festival. Yes, that's with It Stinks. What's that guy's name? John Lovett. Great voiceover artist.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
Oh, he is too. Yeah, and he's in the Wedding Singer as well.
Yeah. He's doing stand up a lot.
Yeah, right.
And he sort of gets made fun of for doing that because he never did it before. Like he was on Saturday Night Live. He's doing a lot of stuff with The Simpsons, and now he's just doing clubs.
Yeah, there you go.
You've got to make some money.
We've got a lot to talk about today.
So
Tim,
much
we should
body
get into
surf
it.
talk. Yes.
It's been a big weekend.
Well, that's
been a great
why I
weekend.
thought it would be great to get Robbie on because, Robbie, you are from the East. You ride with the East Side Body Surfers. And this weekend has been very unusual for a lot of the breaks going around. You boys have been exploring some spots all over the place. Talk us through where you've been.
We had a great session on
We've been exploring
Sunday.
spots on each other.
We got really personal. We had a good time at Yarra. Dave was on the camera. It was good.
Yeah, it was
Uga
fun.
was there. Jesse was there. Seb from ESBS was there. It was a good time. Yeah. We were there for about, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a big sesh.
It was really good.
It was
My whole body's sore.
yeah,
My
mine is sore as
spine.
well.
Yeah, my neck, weirdly. A bit of a rash.
Yeah, and then we had a body surf.
Yeah,
This
it
is what
was-
we're trying to
it was
get
a
to.
good time, yeah.
But no, I went out in the morning in Bundina and then left straight from there after
Yeah.
brekkie.
We went to Bundina on Saturday. You didn't come.
No.
It was a little bit smaller, but still pumping. And then the next day when you came, it was on.
Yeah.
There was probably, 30 boogie boys out there?
Yeah.
Just absolutely getting axed. Just going these big bomb of shories. And they were getting owned. And our friend Robbie Miller, who is our resident bodyboarder, he was just charging everything. And you were out there having a crack.
Yeah, I got a little. I got a wedge off the rock wall, and I got sent into orbit. It was
Yes.
quite good.
Yeah.
Was that like your wedge at Yarra?
Yeah, I was a bit. It was
months
different.
ago?
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different break, different angle. The Yarra wedge is a right-handed.
Yeah.
This was a left. Really fun. Didn't get hurt and went, okay, well, that's probably the best wave I'm going to get today. I'm going to get out.
And you called it a day.
And I called it a
We
day.
should remind the
Winning on
listeners
top.
that we were surfing at Bundina at Gibbon Beach.
Yeah.
Generally not a surf break.
Well, for those people who are outside Sydney, we had a big East Coast low on the offshore of Australia this weekend, and it pushed some pretty heavy swell into spots that don't really get waves. So all the normal spots that you would surf were just too wind affected, and the swell was just too large. Like you couldn't possibly go out there. So
Amazing to watch.
yeah,
It was
really,
absolutely beautiful.
really good to watch. But that also meant that a lot of strange places that don't really get waves were breaking. So Kernell Point was like 5 foot, and it's normally flat. This is a wave that gets a break once or twice a year, if you're lucky, and then to that level maybe once every 5 years. And so there was just lots of little spots that you could explore and find out what works and what doesn't work depending on the swell direction. So Robs, we went over to we shouldn't really tell exactly where it is. There's already enough people who know.
Yeah, the cool kids don't tell their spots, so
Yeah.
I want to start to learn how to do that.
Yeah, we're in the Botany Bay area.
We definitely haven't already mentioned it.
No, not at all. But we were there, and there was already quite a lot of people there, but it was still fun. It was
great.
And
It was really good.
depending on it normally breaks under a heavy south, and so it wasn't as big as what we thought it was going to be because it was more a nor'easty swell, but it was still very clean and probably pushing. It was 3 regularly, but then 5 probably on the bigger sets that were rolling through.
That left-hand Uga got, that was
Yeah.
just like the picture-perfect sort of rolling over one, and we just all stood there and went, oh my God, what has happened here? And Uga's popped up, sand everywhere.
Yeah.
He's not in a wetsuit, covered in shells.
Yeah.
And it's
Because
great.
it just breaks onto the sand. Like there's no water there. And I mean, a lot of the Hawaiians would be listening to this and going, oh, like 3 foot, 4 foot shore breakers, or like grow up sort of thing. But this wave, because it's a harbour bay wave, it just seems so thick and powerful. And there's nowhere for the water to go except for up the beach, and it just spits you onto literally sand. Exciting.
Oh, so good.
And
was
before you boys were checking out your little secret botany spot
Oh, yeah.
on Sunday, I think you, Robbie, checked out a few spots out east, and one of the most famous shore breaks in Sydney was pumping as well. Coogee.
On Sunday, Coogee definitely was not pumping.
When were you surfing it?
I went, Sunday morning, and it was not very good. I jumped in, I guess, the north side and very, very quickly went in the south side. So it wasn't a very successful swim. So I was
Right.
even more, I guess, just determined to get this one at Bonnie Bay.
Well, yeah, I
Undisclosed
think you were
place.
text messaging Owie at the time when we were at Bundina, and Owie was getting the guys excited to maybe explore some other spots in the afternoon. Did anyone else go out with you, Owie, or was it just you boys?
No, so I went straight from Bundina over to Botany Bay, and no one else came. I don't know what you guys did.
I think I was doing some work.
Yeah.
I was doing some work. I'm doing the pre-production.
For this.
It was at the pub.
I was at the
It was
pub.
definitely at the pub. No, Coogee was going really good the Saturday. I saw some awesome photos. That was really good. And this afternoon as well. Today was really good at Coogee. I was there pretty much just before I came here. And leaving, I just saw this guy get the most beautiful curling wave body surfing it, just a random body surfer amongst the hundreds of surfers out there. And he just got it. He threw his hand up. He had his other hand out, and it's just that perfect picture, like the that big handboard logo. And it's just, I just looked at it. I was like, yeah, that gets me excited for surfing. And I was like, maybe I'll just make these guys late.
Well, yeah, you rushed over here, and then Owie was about an hour and a half late.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I normally go to my grandmother's for dinner, which I did, but
What'd you have?
Oh, we had chicken roast tonight.
Thanks for bringing some over.
Oh no, mate, she doesn't make enough. Like it's good. It's good for one person, but there's no take homes. And she goes, I don't understand why you boys eat so much. I'm a growing boy, man. Like I need lots of food. But that's not why I was late. Why I was late is because I came home from work, and I messaged Uga again. I was like, "Hey, bro, is South on?" He goes, "Nah, bro, it's flat."
South Cronulla.
South Cronulla it's flat. We'll go tomorrow morning. And I get down to South, and it's pumping. Like it's proper 7 foot.
Yeah.
Like it is absolutely heaving onto this sandbank, and all the sand's like just been dragged out from South Cronulla because the swell was so large over the weekend, and it's just all sitting out in the middle of the bay. And so it was a bit of a swim, but the current was just pumping through. And so like you, Rob, I went out there and I caught one wave pretty much because it was just a mission to stay in position. And it was honestly one of the best waves I think I've ever had. Like it was
South Cronulla can just turn it on, eh?
It was like I had a dream one time where I was riding this massive, it would have been 10 foot, and it was just rolling and crumbling, and it was really clean, and it was just like my dream. And
I can't even dream waves that good.
oh, it was so good. And I went down the face, and then it just like hit the bank and then rolled over, and I was like in the pit, and then it spat me out and I was fine. It was so good. I didn't even hit the sand. And so that's why I was like, I surfed for an hour. I caught one wave because I was just trying to paddle in position. Jesse came out too. But yeah, then I had to go to Nans. I got there at like 7:30. I told I was going to be there at 6. And I told you guys I'd be here at 7:30, and I got here at 8:30. So this is what we're here.
Yeah, no workers. But
thanks for coming, mate.
Yeah,
No worries, mate. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Saw each other yesterday.
That's right.
What do you think of the burgers yesterday?
Oh yeah.
So you've eaten at the feedback?
No, we took a second one.
Where did you eat
There's a
yesterday?
So I don't know, what's the joint called?
It's called Bear Grylls.
Oh yeah,
That seems like it should be trademarked.
that's a good name.
Is that the actual name of the joint?
It is because it's Bear Island.
Yeah, it is.
In the location that's definitely not near where we're talking about.
So it's Bear Grylls, Bare. There you go.
That's exactly right.
So you get a burger and fries, and as you drink, you get urine that's been filtered through a sock.
More or less.
Bear Grylls style.
Yeah, that's
no,
pretty
they're
much
quite good. They're nice little burgers. They get their sort of the bun there, and they stamp their logo on the top of the bun as well.
Cool.
So it's very cool.
But is that the best burger going around? Because we want to get into a bit of burger chat, and Owie and I love a burger that you can only get in Canberra. And you're not a big fan of this burger. Have you had it?
I have had it because I listened to that podcast on the way down to Canberra. Just so happened. And I was not impressed because I think the best burger in Sydney has to be the feed bag in Maroubra.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is a bit biased because it's quite literally across the road from my house.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a bit biased.
Yeah, but I'm also in a lot of debt because of it. So, but the feed bag, they've got the Bra burger there and the Lord Beefington, which they're just like, they make them a medium rare burger. And I guess the sauces, the bun, everything about it's good. And they do the loaded fries, the thick cut loaded fries with gravy and the sort of steak style bacon cut up into bits and a bit of rosemary through it.
Now this is really important. What is the most integral part of the burger? What do you think is the most important part? Bun, patty, lettuce.
I think I think the most important part, and this probably is the only word and way you can get away with it, but I think a good burger has to be moist. And I know that's a bit of a
lot of people don't like that word.
I won't repeat it because I don't want to offend too many people. No. But I think the burgers there are just, it's soft but not soggy.
Yeah.
It's juicy but not wet.
Okay.
And the sauces are there, tasty, but not overpowering.
Okay.
And that is it. And the pickles. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Why didn't you like Broad Burger? What's the reason?
It's not that I didn't like it. It was definitely a good burger.
What did you have?
I can't remember. I would have just got a cheeseburger. I'm a big fan of the cheeseburger. I love the mustard and the American ketchup and the pickles, and that's the way I like a burger.
Well, see, that's what Broad Burger don't do. I'm a big fan of the American mustard on the cheeseburger. Don't get me wrong. I do like just the original at Broad Burger, and then you get the brie on it as well.
You can pick your cheese.
Yeah.
You can get like blue cheese, you can get brie, you can get cheddar.
Yeah, it's a bit too fancy for me, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. I'm just maybe not classy enough.
Well, it did start in a caravan.
Yeah, and they got told to move on because the caravan was doing too well. I think there was a line up at this caravan every Sunday morning, and you'd have to wait about an hour for your burger. Now they're in a big fancy restaurant next to the Glassworks, and they're doing real well. I think they're turning over a lot of business, and we often go to, what is it called, Capital Brewing Fest,
Yeah, Capital Brewing
where
Co.
like
They're
every beer that you love is there. Every bit of food that you love is there, and then normally they get a few good musical acts as well.
well, that's it. Yeah, Capital at their brewery have a Broadburger caravan in it.
The old caravan.
So it's the best place on earth for us, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely. But like Robbie, you're pretty much living the dream. You're living, a stone throw away from your favourite burger place. You're living across the road from the beach. You're checking out East Sydney beaches pretty much every day. You're getting in the water every day. What's your favourite break in the east?
I think that's really hard. I really like Maroubra, just the middle of Maroubra, just next to the clubhouse there, just because it's the closest I can walk to. And I think walking to the beach is key.
Oh, yeah.
But when it's going, I've had a lot of good fun at, I guess, that Tamarama stretch and the rocks and the Mackenzie's Bay just there. And I've had some really great days out with the Eastern Sydney body surfers there who are just all absolutely great body surfers. I think I'm going to claim as being the most okayest body surfer you guys have had on the podcast. Not bad, not great, but okayest. I love it a lot, but I don't know if I got all the way out there. But it's good because I guess at those places like Tamarama, they get some big waves there. And sometimes I'm out there and probably a bit over in my depth, or is that the word?
Out of your depth.
Out of my depth.
Yeah.
Yep, that's great. But the boys are there and they're doing it. They're charging, and I can see how they're charging, and I'm watching their line, and they'll be like, "Oh, Robbie, this is you." And not that they'll sort of give me any stick for not doing it, but they've called you out on it, and you're like, "All right," and you turn around, and even if you don't think the wave's going to be there, you do a couple of kicks, and you're falling into the wave. And if you don't commit in sort of waves like that, where it's a bit bigger, there might be a really small bank there, you're going to hurt yourself. So you just commit, you go down, and you sort of try to watch what they do and copy it, and then you're having a great time.
Well, that's it. Barrel Pig said to us, he's like, you've got to go out with people who push you. And having those kind of guys in the crew with you is perfect, because it's like, well, if they're saying go, I better go. And I think that's really helpful for us as well when we've got Bondi in there now, and Bondi came out he didn't catch many waves when we went out to Bundina the other day.
I'm a big fan of Bondi.
Everyone loves Bondi.
Mate, we do. He's called Pondy now because he only goes out when it's flat.
Yeah, the smallest wave specialist.
But also his commitment, you just have to walk across the road. This guy lives out in the hills. Sure. He drives like an hour and a half just to come and have a swim. Sometimes it's not even on, and he'll just go, "Oh yeah, let's jump in."
And then I stay in bed.
Yeah, and then he doesn't even rock up. But, man, talk us through your team. So it's the East Sydney Body Surfers. You guys have come third at Wompoff every year.
I have not been a part of it for that long. I got the rookie card this year, so I don't know how much I can claim it. They're probably sitting there going, rookie. We let him out. We let him talk to the media.
You're a team of all-stars.
They are. We've got some really good,
incredible
really
team.
Good body surfers. I think we've got Jake Barrel Pig. Jake's probably one of the best body surfers, or the most renowned, most photographed body surfer out there. He's always on the group chat saying, I think this is going to do, or what do you guys reckon about this? And he gives some really good tips. I reckon you got the Paul Codor there, who are
team captain
for ESPS and never lost a singles heat. Yeah, I've been told. Same as Jake.
Yep.
I reckon you got Dean Jezza as well. So I reckon he's one of the most underrated body surfers.
Yeah, with Dean, he just goes anything. We were talking about him the other day.
Anything at all.
And Tenerife's a left-hander. Yeah. He goes right on it.
Yeah, and he'll go. So he spends a lot of time over in Hawaii as well. He's got a pretty good setup. And he'll go to the direction of the rocks. And then I'm like, okay, he's just going to take going to get dumped and sort of just do a little bit. But he makes it out, and then he'll end up on the rocks. And I'm like, did you just take that onto the rocks? And he goes, oh, yeah, man, it's a soft reef. Soft reef? It's a reef. What do you mean? He's like, oh, yeah, well, I've been, surfing in Hawaii, and that's a hard reef. That's like lava. That's lava rocks.
Yeah, it's insane. It is. Honestly, after going and seeing it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, you don't want to go across that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think
yeah.
he does.
Yeah. Has he got something wrong with him?
No, he's just a very good body surfer.
Yeah,
You
he
know
is
what
a
I mean?
very
He's
good
guy.
body surfer.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I went out with him the other day and
He took me out to Macca's the first time, and
Yeah.
I don't think he realised it was my first time out there. And he's like, "Yeah, just go that way." I was like, "Okay, no worries." And he's going, and he's like doing these waves. I'm just sitting there watching. And I'm like, "I got to get better."
he sits so deep all the time. He's always the deepest person in there. Like, and Jake told me, he's like, you've just got to sit deep, sit deeper than what you think you need to, and you'll still make it out because you get more speed the deeper you sit. But Dean Jez will be in like even deeper than the pig because he just wants to end up on the reef. I think he likes it.
The speed you get when you're that deep, and you're. I reckon the best waves I've ever got is probably when I've been out of position for my abilities, and you just got to go, because if you don't go, you're going to get pulled over the falls anyway. And you just go, you drop down, and you're boom gone, and it's great.
Yeah. Now you've got this all-star team, and they're pushing you onto waves, they're calling you onto waves, and you're absolutely loving it. And I've watched you on the Instagram, and you were putting out heaps of Connie T, and like you were just shredding. But take me back to the good old days of how you actually got into body surfing. How did it all begin for you?
I guess for me, I got into I've always body surfed Maroubra. Pretty much every single Christmas, my dad and I used to go to Maroubra. We'd go through all summer as well, but every Christmas morning we'd go. That was a sort of a bit of thing we did. And he had the old pod hand plane with the stealth flippers.
Yeah.
I think everyone started on the pod hand plane or
Is that the teardrop?
the teardrop, the long. I had a grey one,
Yeah.
And so I moved to Maroubra about a year and a half ago now, and I can't surf, and I don't really like bodyboarding. So I was like, I live so close to the beach, and I want to surf, and I'm not that good. I'm not a great swimmer either. And so I was like, oh, Dad, have you still got that hand plane somewhere? So I got in the garage and I had a look, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so I just had it there. I didn't really use it at all. And I was like, okay, it's there. And then I was in Camden one day, and I was looking through the podcast app. I didn't have anything to do, and I was driving back home, and I looked at the sports podcasts, and I saw it. I was like, body surfing podcast. I'm like, oh, look at that, body surfing podcast.
Us.
Yeah, it was you guys. You're in the sports. So I found you in the top charts of sports. So you made it in the top of the charts of the sports somewhere. And I was like, all right, I'll give this a go. And it was a rainy day coming back from Camden, and it was the episode with Ricky was on. I think I got probably 2 or 3 episodes deep because it's such a long drive, and I was like, oh, this got me pretty excited. This guy's got this body surfing thing going on, and that was probably like early March or something last year. And I was like, that's it. So I got home, got the pod out, dusted it off, got the stealth flippers out.
Sick.
Went down to the beach and there's no waves. But I had a bit of fun around. It was pretty good. And then, because I'm so close to the beach, I walk down every morning or every afternoon and jump in. I was slowly getting better and better. And then I sort of found this, couple of content on Instagram, and I was like, oh, there's people that are doing this, pretty good. And so I sort of got through that, and for my birthday, my lovely wife, Rachel, big shout out. She'll probably be listening.
The Rach. How you doing, Rach?
She bought me a good set from the sort of hand plane flippers set from Slide.
Okay.
So the Bulla and the
Defins.
and the Defins are black and yellow Defins. Yeah. And so it was sort of on from there. I had the GoPro, and it was there, and then I was out one day and Dave was there. I was like, oh, we got this group chat going on and we're talking about it. I was like, all right, sweet, no worries. Added me into it, and it was sort of history was there.
Literally the best Sydney club. Just go, hey, jump on this group chat.
Yeah, I think they're regretting it all the time because I can't really talk about body surfing to many of my mates. Definitely not my wife, because she hates it. So it's sort of always on there, and there's always someone to chat. I think the good thing about that chat's got about 50 people in it. So even today, someone's like, oh, I'm going to go to Coogee. Is anyone around? I'm like, I've got 15 minutes. So you've always got a mate most of the time.
50 people in it, we still can't get a run to.
We'll get there one day. But you told me that story a while ago, Robbie, and I kind of didn't believe it because
It happened.
How could you be so good if you only started seriously body surfing last year? And also, like, I don't really believe that the podcast could inspire you to do that and to get hooked in with such a killer group. Like, you're hanging out with Ricky, you're hanging out with Barrel Pig, you're surfing with them regularly.
I want to say hanging out.
But you're in their team. You're in the top 10 of the Eastern Sydney body surfers. I don't think the podcast really played that big of a part. I think you were already shredding well before we came along.
I really wasn't. I wasn't a good surfer or much. I think a little bit of it was like, oh, this sounds like fun. And I guess I used to go to the gym every day, and then that very much got subbed out for going for a swim every day. So it was a little bit of like, I just really like body surfing. It's just like something I like. That's sort of my little joy, my thing I turn off, get home from work and I don't have to worry about work because I'm like, I'll go for a surf and take a couple of photos of surf, and then you come out when you're exhausted, sit on the couch or make some dinner, and then you go through your photos and do that. But
you feel like you've done something, hey?
Yeah, it's great.
Like
it's so
when
good.
I still go to the gym sometimes, but when I got home from the gym, I was like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, cool.
And you don't feel as good after a body surf. You feel fit, you feel healthy, but you feel like just super happy.
Oh, mate, put that in the hottest 100, please. That's number one. That's the mantra. Yeah. You feel happy.
Yeah. It is. You do. And like, if I'm bothered to get up in the morning, sunrise is 6:15 at Maroubra, so you walk down, you get to have sunrise, and if it's on, it's on. Even better if it's not. You had a really good swim.
That's right.
There's guys at Maroubra, so Tua, who's a part of the ESPS, he goes pretty good as well.
He's in the team?
He's in the team, yeah. Him and a couple of the older Dodgers. He's not the older Dodger. They are up there every single morning, rain, hail, or shine, or 25-foot swell, no matter what. They're there every morning, and they go for a little bit of a dip. So it's sort of pretty cool. Like the All Seasons body surfers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're good. Good. Your dad should join the All Seasons, actually, Tim.
He does like a latte and doesn't get in the water that much, so he'd fit in all right.
Robs, you were actually saying to me that before body surfing, you were kind of just like, you didn't know what you were really doing, and you were feeling kind of shitty. And
yeah, it was sort of like I was actually that sort of part of the. I was sort of like in a job. I was in Camden, and I had to drive home from Sydney. So anyone that has to drive home from Camden to Sydney for their job knows how hard that is.
Shout out to Tom Schmidt.
Well, yeah, I've done it as well, and it's pretty full
but the job also wasn't what I wanted to do, and it's sort of, when you're in a job and you don't have something to look forward to after work every single day, it can be. So it was sort of really nice that it was sort of this, I reckon that'd be fun, and then you sort of have something that you're really enjoying, and sort of the mantra I sort of put in from that is making sure you enjoy the ride, which is something that I think body surfing is. You're out there not because it's safe or because you want to shred. It's, you want to enjoy the ride. And so I sort of put that into my life. And, not too long after I got into body surfing, I don't know if they're 100% related, but, quit my job, got a great one now, doing what I love. And like, my work-life balance is awesome now because, if maybe my work balance has gone down a little bit, I definitely know they're not listening to this. Because, get up in the morning, you can't really have a bad day at work when you've gone for a body surf, you know what I mean? And if you've had a bad day at work, go for a body surf.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And we don't have to talk about this too much, but we kind of all do similar jobs. And I think when you're working in that sort of environment day in, day out, you do need to take care of yourself. You need, people talk about self-care, people talk about mindfulness, people talk about all these things that they do to unwind. Body surfing just ticks every single box.
I think it's one of those things. It's like a, sensory deprivation where you quite literally can't think of anything else. Yeah. Because all you're thinking about is, oh my God, I'm being held under right now. Okay, what do I do? Relax. I can't relax. I'm so far under. I can't breathe that good. But then you kick it out, and then you come out, and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then all the worries are gone away because you've literally turned off because you're just focusing about, getting the next barrel or, coming back up.
And it's the chase. It's looking forward to the next swell. Like there's
also like the social aspect of it, the physical health part of it, also being a part of nature, having that sort of spiritual connection with the earth. Like it just ticks every single box in terms of self-care. So even if you're like thinking about getting into body surfing, absolutely give it a go. You don't have to go in big surf, but it just does so much.
You don't have to be good. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah, we're definitely not.
There's conditions for everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even on the days when there's the biggest swells out there, there's still conditions for everyone.
Well, that's it. Yeah, like look and you shall find. And that's the thing why I was talking about the chase as well. Like you'll have something to look forward to. A lot of people just don't have anything to look forward to. Body surfing, you always do because you're like, when's when's the next wave coming? Like, where's it going to be? You're always looking. It takes you on adventure. Like, oh, so good. Loving it. Yeah. Absolutely loving it. Great. Timmy?
Yeah, well, I absolutely love this heaps good session we had all together a few months ago. It was actually for my 30th birthday.
Yeah, well, it's happy birthday for that.
Thank you, man. Now, you were nice enough to come out with some of the boys. Now, it was sort of a collab.
You did come to me.
Well, that's true. And you were late because you had a few red wines the night before.
Good red wines.
You had a good night. You were at the Rissole, weren't you? There was a band.
I was. My uncle was playing down at the Yarra Bay Sailing Club, which is a great location if anyone.
Oh, for lunch especially.
Yeah.
Right, Dave?
So this is actually we got to mention this because I
heard this.
This was so funny. We were all in stitches between the sets out at our Yarra. So Dave Malloy, who's the all-time greatest body surfing photographer, and I think we're pretty good to call him that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And so he'd just come back down from Newcastle because he also does the rugby union. And so he's come down from Newcastle, and as I'm walking back to do a bit of a gear change, my GoPro ran out of battery. He's there. He's like, "Oh, Robbie, I came down from Newcastle. I also have my camera in the car as well. I might get some shots." I was like, "All right, sweet, man. I'll be out there soon." I think Owi's there, Uga's there, Seb's there. Seb is a great surfer as well, just ESPS guy. Anyway, so we got back to the surf, and we're all chatting. Like, imagine the conversation between Dave and his girlfriend, where it's like, "Oh, Yarra Bay's got a really nice place for lunch. Do you want to go there?" And when they're at lunch, it's, "Hey, look, there's body surfers out there. How good's that? Oh, I think I actually have my camera in the car. I'm just going to grab a couple of photos of the guys, mid-lunch." Yeah. And he sent me a text message afterwards going, "Oh, yeah, the missus wasn't too happy that I did that during lunch." And
it was
so surf. Funny.
Oh, we were sitting in the surf like going, "Oh, this is exactly how it would have gone down." We're like, "Oh, no, it couldn't possibly have gone like that." Yeah. And he sends the text. He's like, "Yeah, missus wasn't too happy," because he was only shooting for like maybe 10 minutes. Yeah. And she must have just been sitting there going, "Not at me, though." Yeah. I got out to put the GoPro up because it was fogged. Fogged in the case.
Yeah, that's a very touchy subject.
But yeah, we did have a great little sesh down the south end of
I've actually never
Maroubra.
had waves like that at South End before.
And again, another shorie day. A bit of a different shorie because it is a beach break, so some of them were breaking a bit further out, but some of them were breaking right on the sand. And it was a bit of a collab between the Budgie boys and my friends I went to TAFE with, the TAFE boys. And a lot of them don't even swim. Like, one of them used to bodyboard a lot, and he took his board out and had a cracker of a time. But yeah, everyone had a killer of a day, and you kind of you were just out there just jumping on everything, taking photos. I think you got the live stream going on your Axis Pro, and it was really, really a good day had by all. I think weird conditions, a bit of rain, a bit of cloud, but there was a wedding on the beach as well.
Yeah, and how's it for the lifeguards? Shout out to them though.
Yes.
So these guys are setting up for a very beautiful wedding, and just behind the wedding, I guess they're facing, away from the water, so they're getting photos, of the ocean behind them.
Yeah, that's the backdrop.
And then so just behind them, the lifeguards put the rubber ducky right next to where they're having their wedding and getting ready for the wedding.
Well, why are there lifeguards down there?
I don't know. I
think it was a clubby event.
Oh, okay. Because there was no flags.
Some nippers stuff or some nippers training and stuff like that. Anyway, so I was like, if my wife had that on her day, even if she'd walked past and saw a wedding going on with something like that in the background, I would not have heard about it. She would have been going on about it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So I sort of went over to the clubbies. I was like, "Hey, guys, do you reckon you can move this thing away?" That was my good deed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You ran over there, and then you even helped them move it. Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. You're just a nice bloke. Yeah. You see, I don't really know many body surfers that I don't like. I think there's heaps of bodyboarders I don't like. Maybe less. I probably hate more surfers than bodyboarders though.
We don't know a lot of surfers,
especially if they're under the age of 14.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of groms out.
Oh yeah.
We were surfing on the weekend. That wasn't too fun. Yeah. But you know what? You just can't. You can't get on their bad side because if you get on their bad side, then they turn.
You're done.
And the frustrating thing about surfing is that surfers can sit deeper than us.
Yep.
So can bodyboarders, and so we have to sit there and we wait and wait and wait and wait for a wave. and then you'll be on it, and then you get dropped in on.
Yeah.
Like, it's just frustrating.
I think it's pretty good sometimes at Maroubra because we get quite a lot of tourists at Maroubra now. So I've sort of started to just sit just on the shoulder a little bit more, obviously, so I don't get run over. But I reckon about 7 times out of 10, they probably don't go for it.
Yeah.
And they don't sort of paddle hard
they
enough.
look like they're going for it.
Look
And
like
then
they're
they
going
pull
for it
off,
and they
yeah.
pull off. And so I often get so many waves just by already swimming for it just in case, and then they pull off, all right, sweet, I'm on here.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, sometimes a really good thing because we have so many surfers in Maroubra. Maroubra's, I guess, not what it used to be, that sort of aren't as good. But I was talking to Hipto, and he's saying down south you can't do that at all.
Yeah,
Because the surfers, anything the surfers go for down there, they get on straight away.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I was like, oh, maybe it is good to have so many surfers here. It's not, but it is.
Yeah, when we started working out in the eastern suburbs, Tim, we were like, oh, bra boys, it's going to be pretty sketchy down at the Maroubra beaches, but it's fine. It's
lovely
nice.
place.
And actually, the bigger it gets, the less surfers there are. So when it is on, you normally have the beach to yourself. And I've caught some screamers up the north end of Maroubra, and no one was there. And even you were running late one day, and I'm like,
What's new?
I was having a shower, and I was like, mate, I just had the best surf of my life. Catch you later. I'm going into the office. And you probably got one wave and then called it a day, like you do.
See ya.
And was late to work.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, you are a good bloke, as Zoe just said, and you have this little initiative, and I want to know a bit more about it. You're the eco warrior, and you're doing some work with Untrashy. Now, do you mind
Bit of
talking
research there?
Oh, mate, I've got notes. So I've got written them on coasters.
So good, yeah. So Untrashy. So Ness and Tim at Untrashy. So they'll probably be a little bit stoked about this. So Untrashy, there. So Ness is a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a very long time, and they were sort of between jobs and went on a 6-month honeymoon in Europe. And on the way home from Europe, they went to one of the Southeast Asia countries, and they saw heaps of straws, plastic straws in the water everywhere. And Ness was a bit like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. And so when they got back to Sydney, they're like, you know what? We're going to start a reusable straw business. So it started with reusable straws. They've got glass, metal, and silicone now. I'm a big fan of the silicone one.
So do you wash the silicone straw?
Yeah, you can wash it. Yeah, throw it straight in the dishwasher. I don't have a dishwasher, but straight in there. It comes with a little cleaner.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they're really good. So they've got heaps of stuff now on Trashy. So it's just at Untrashy.
Underscore.
Yeah, thank you. On Instagram, and they've got cups, they've got clothes pegs, they've got the squishy one cups, they've got the straws, they've got reusable bags. I wasn't ready for this, so I probably don't know all their stuff, but definitely give them definitely give them a check out because they're doing really good stuff there. Yeah.
Now we better get into a bit more body surf chat, but this is the question. This is the first time we've asked this question for the new year. What's in your floppy bucket, mate? You talked about having a bit of gear, and your misso bought you some slide stuff and the fins, but you do have quite an extensive kit.
I do. I think other than having a great wife that buys me things for Christmas and birthday, I'm also a big fan of buying things on the Facebook Marketplace and the Gumtree, getting a deal. So I don't know if you guys have seen, I've got a little ladder in my lounge room, and so my ladder, I turned it into a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Because my wife wanted to get a real Christmas tree in the lounge room, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to have a hand plane Christmas tree right next door. So on that, you know what, I might quickly. No, I reckon I can remember it. So it started off with the Bulla and it actually started off with the Stealth Flippers and the pod.
Yeah.
And then it went to the Bulla with the little camera, the GoPro on the mount, which is pretty cool. It gets a really great angle, the Bulla. And on the waves where the walls are there, the Bulla really goes. And then you got the Defins. The Defins it's a interesting flipper because it's got a really soft top on it. So the top of your foot's always good in it. Sometimes I get a little bit of a cramp in my foot with it, but if I just want a real comfortable surf and it's going to be a session where doing a lot of kicking, the Defin's pretty good. After the Bulla, I had I think the first hand plane I bought full price was the Badfish, the Ricky's Badfish.
Oh right,
yeah, because I loved it. I love the fact that it's it's recycled ocean plastic and whatnot, and that's probably one of my most used hand planes. I think it's the most versatile. It's easy. Use it as a bottle opener if you need to.
Yep.
And that's good in all conditions, really. On top of that, I then got 2 wooden hand planes on the marketplace. So I got the pintail one. So that's the older school one, and that's probably one of my favourites. Every Sunday I used to take that out in the afternoon, and just on Maroubra, there was like 3 months in a row where I was just getting barrels and barrels. I don't know if that thing's got magic powers, but every single time I'm on it, I get a barrel.
It was pre-owned, pre-loved by a very professional body surfer, wasn't it?
That was the wooden the wooden fish. Yeah,
Okay.
the wooden fish I got from Dylan Kelly. And so I just so I was just somewhere up over the north side of Sydney. That's all one place to me. I sort of picked it up. I was like, oh, hey, here you going? It was a couple of weeks before Womp Off. And the person was like, oh, do you know about this Womp Off thing? I was like, oh, yeah, I know about it. I've heard about it. There's a podcast I listen to every week. And she's like, oh, yeah, my brother just was in California and came 3rd place in the bodysurfing competition. I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And so, I was like trying to find out who she was from her Instagram. And then I like looked at her Instagram and then I found that, okay, that's your brother. Yeah, Dylan Kelly, and like he's got photos of doing the belly spins and the flips, and he's a really great body surfer. Yeah. He needs to be on the podcast. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he's defindely coming on. He's a good guy too. Yeah. After
he's a swims with DMC.
He does. After the after Womp Off 2018. At Cronulla, we went and watched the INXS cover band.
Oh yeah,
at the Caringbah Hotel.
Does he ride with the Cobras?
Yeah,
sick.
Yeah, so I think he moved down to the south coast.
No, I just bought a hand plane off him.
Well, from what I've heard is that he's moved down to the south coast now. Still surfs with the Cobras. And I think he's got a missus and a kid now. So congratulations.
Well done, mate.
But you look at him and you go,
no, he doesn't have the Nick Brabot body, does he?
No, he's like, you look at him, he's just like, you don't look that athletic, bro. And then like he gets in the water and he's
it's
proper
great.
animal.
I was just showing Tim before some videos on his Instagram. It's great. Good watch. So going forward, I have the what else? I got the Belly Slater Flying V, which I think is the greatest shorie.
You were on that the other day.
I was on that yesterday. Yeah. That's a great shorie ride, the Flying V there. So shout out to Bell.
Well, Belly loves. I haven't seen many people with the V. A lot of people have the beachy.
Discontinued.
Yeah.
Oh, it's discontinued.
Yeah, I don't think he sells it anymore.
No, but you know what? It is trademarked.
Is it? Yeah, it's really good.
How did you get yours?
Gumtree. $40. Wow. Shout out. How good. The guy was at 60 and I tried to get him down and he's like, oh, I don't know. This bit looked a bit stretched. What about 40? He's like, oh, yeah, sure, no worries. Looked on the website that night. I think Belly's got it for 150 or something like that.
Yes.
But that's really good. I think Belly keeps on trying to get my nickname to be Molly, I think. He keeps on signing off messages. Oh, thanks, Mole, or good work, Mole.
Why?
So, Molly Meldrum, which is my last name. So I just sort of noticed that. I was like, okay. But that's my dad, not my real dad. Yeah. But like my dad's always called Molly.
Yeah.
So it feels weird when I get it.
Have you got any other like non-body surf gear in the kit? Like what sort of towel you're rocking? What sort of
So I've got
accessories. You've got your GoPro.
I've got my GoPro. I've got the Hero Weight. Shout out to Rach for Christmas.
Mate, these missos look
after
you,
they're
boys.
Good. I've got the hooded towel. I've got the ESBS hooded towel. They got this year for Womp Off. That's really good. That's always a good.
And all the boys have them, and it's
we got good.
You order one, they don't come in for like 2 years. I think some of the ESPS boys are still waiting on it.
Oh, really? We got ours pretty straight away.
Someone ordered one.
I got mine straight away.
Still waiting on it.
Maybe because they don't pick it up. Like we've got. I think the worst thing about the SBS is the consistency on the chat.
Yeah, man.
So we could say, oh, does everyone want to go down on Sunday?
I think all body surfer chats have that same issue, man.
Yeah.
No, we're pretty consistent at not turning up.
Yeah.
We're consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Never late to the pub, but
that's right. Yeah, 12 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, never miss the start of the race.
That's right. Never miss the first at Randwick.
Yeah. I recently got the yuccas. The pink yuccas. Yeah. One of the guys in the group was selling them. They didn't really fit him very well. And I got the pink yuccas, which I think they're my favourite fins now.
And they fit you all right?
Yeah, they fit me pretty good. They are stiff. And if anyone wants to get a pair of yuccas, I'll definitely recommend getting the little inner sole part of it in there. I don't have the little inner sole. They put like a bit of wetsuit neoprene in it.
Oh, really? Like
and that just
built into it.
Yeah. So that just stops it from rubbing on your ankle a little bit. I don't have that, and that does rub after big sessions. But I guess the consistency and the kick, it's just it's a really thick thing, and they're my favourite.
And they look really cute as
Yeah,
well.
they do look really
Well,
cute.
there's a Budgie Boys coloured.
Yes.
Yucca.
Yes.
We might get one of those. Maybe we should get them for the whole team, Tim.
Sponsors.
It'll cost you.
The finger thing means money.
It means the taxes.
taxes.
Yeah, that's right. So, anything else in the floppy bucket? That's it. You got the GoPro as well.
I got the I got the Hydro Tech 2 flippers, the green ones, the Jake Barrel Pig.
Tech twos, Timmy.
I've never seen you.
Maybe they're the green ones.
Maybe they're the
Hydro
ones.
ones.
Tech ones, are they old
Yeah.
school?
They're old school,
Yeah.
So they were Jake Barrel Pig sort of didn't
Yeah.
have any space in his lounge room anymore, so
Yeah.
I got them and take up space in mine. But they're they're a lot softer, so they're really good for your shories where you're standing up a bit, and they're the fin sprint choice.
Yeah.
So for me, they were the best ones for the fin sprint. So I don't know if you guys saw
Oh, I've seen the photo, mate. It's good.
You got
It's
the rig
good.
out and everything.
Yeah. Old under 10s beach sprint champion at Maroubra
really?
Beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was how I got into the team, really.
Yeah, that's good.
That's it. Like if you can run, it's worth having because you really, if you're not going in the individual comps, you're not in the water that much, and then you just come good in the fin sprint, mate. You burnt your bread and butter that night.
That's right.
There's a really flattering / unflattering photo of that fin sprint. Dave was standing right next to me, so it's definitely me. I get the gun right really well. I've taken a couple stride lead.
Yeah.
But there's a really nice sort of shot of my gut sort of moving out, a really body surfing type gut. And I sort of looked at it, and that was the first gut I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, well, maybe I need to go on a diet.
You know, why is it that a lot of body surfers are quite out of shape? Because think about it, we do a lot of exercise.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not easy to do what we do. Like, if you're going in anything over 4 foot, you're swimming a lot. There's a lot of water moving. You look at every surfer ever and their rigs. You look at every body surfer ever and there's like probably maybe 2% who are jacked. There's like Brabot and Ricky. Ricky's pretty solid.
Yeah, he
Ricky's-
is solid.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got that dad bod going on.
Yeah.
Paul's also pretty ripped.
Oh, yeah. He's
Mini
ripped.
Brabot.
Yeah, he definitely goes to the gym, but yeah. Like for all those other people who don't go to the gym, like why? I just thought I'd start swimming and it would just turn around for me. But no.
I think like everyone talks about exercise, but like diet is 80% of it, and we have the worst diets. Like we're eating sausage rolls every Saturday.
Yeah, Red Bulls.
We love a Reddy, we love a beer. We're eating carbs, we're eating fat.
Red wine, rosé.
Yeah, you're on the red wines.
It's good.
Well, we changed our team motto on the weekend. Did you hear
No,
about
I didn't
this?
hear about that. What happened?
Yeah, we did. Well, the South
Famously not in the team.
the South Coast Chompers it's beers, burgers, and barrels.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And so we decided we'd change ours to pits, pingers, and pokies.
How did that go down? Because you guys have got quite a conservative
Yeah,
group base.
we're anti-drugs, but we do have prescription medication within the group.
Yeah.
Some of our members may have,
But we're not anti-slogan.
That's right. Yeah, we're pro slogan, and
Yeah.
if it works, we can change it to no, I think we need to leave pingers in there. Pies.
Yeah, we
Pits.
don't have pies. Oh,
Pits,
well, we do have
punting and
pies when we
pies.
punch, yeah. When we go to Cronulla RSL, you should join us for a punt one day. They bring out, because everyone's been drinking since 10
Famously
a.m.
bad punter, but I will.
Because everyone starts drinking at like 10 a.m, they have to bring out food to sober everyone up. So you get free sausage rolls and pies. It's pretty good.
It is good, but they notoriously don't cook the pies long enough. So it's like,
Sausage
Piping
rolls are
Hot
perfect.
sponsorship here if Piping Hot are listening.
oh yes, that's right. I love Piping
Isn't
Hot.
Corey sponsored by Piping Hot?
No.
Who isn't Corey sponsored
I
by?
think Corey
The
got
Q Boy?
a free tank top the other day.
We do have notes that Tim's got written down on a coaster saying mention Cute Boy Corey, so that's the obligation.
Yeah, what do
Cute
you
Boy.
got on there?
That's not on there.
you got anything else on there?
My bad.
I've gone through most of the stuff. Also, I just wanted to check in with you, man. How old are you? Because I just had me 30th. I reckon we're looking all right, are we?
Yeah, I think I look good.
Yeah, Robbie, we were actually thinking about putting together like a young gun team, and we were thinking who's in there. Obviously, Cute Boy, he's like 18, 19. And then he goes, Robbie's only 20-something.
Oh, I'm 25, turning 26.
25, 26. Yeah. Still a young boy.
26 in March, 18th of March, if anyone wants to send me a present.
Oh, I'm sure
there you
your
go.
wife will get you another hand plane.
Yeah.
What do you want, actually? What do you want for your 26th birthday?
For
No,
Christmas,
27th.
26.
Okay.
26.
For Christmas, I had a list of all the things I sort of wanted. Like, these are the things I want. Because every year, everyone's like, you're so hard to buy for. I'm like, well, this year I'm into body surfing, so I need the gear. I don't know. I haven't thought about... Oh, actually, that's not true. Technically, the Ecto pool party is going to be my birthday present. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the flight's down.
So you're going down?
Yeah, I'm going down. So we got the tickets the other day. So we're like, oh, maybe that can be my birthday present. So the flight's down, probably accommodation down there, the 4 hours. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's got to be, sounds like a good turnout-ish.
So do you need to, for the pool party for Ecto, do you need to be riding Ecto gear? Or you can just bring whatever
I'm
you
pretty
want?
sure it said bring whatever you want.
Yeah. And
Um,
your boys just went to Urban Surf, where they're having the pool party. We're going there in 2 weeks.
Some of them did.
Did you get much feedback from Ricky and all the War Boys about?
Surprisingly
what
not. I was definitely digging.
Yeah.
They did a bit.
Corey had a bit of a chat to
say.
us.
Yeah, I
and-
spoke to Corey. Apparently, it was a bit fast.
Yeah, it's hard to make it out.
Yeah, but I think they're doing a bit of information about it. There was a little bit of chat on there.
Yeah. Well, I would like to know because we are going there soon with the Slide Boys, and I just don't want to kook it up in front of them. So I just want to be there and know how to absolutely shred.
I've heard that you'll definitely hit the bottom.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Jake Barrelpig had one of the DMC helmets on.
That's
Oh,
what
So
I
it looked
think.
like the old rugby
Do we
helmet.
do you still have the rugby
Headgear?
helmet from?
I've got some rugby union headgear.
Yeah, I think I had maybe my 10-year-old brothers. Never know.
I might wear the.
I've got Jonathan Thurston's headgear. He threw it to me once at a game.
No, he didn't.
I threw it back.
That kid did that. That's what the kid did.
Come on, mate.
No, we've got the
Blue,
headgear
black, and
from.
white for life.
We've got the
Yeah.
headgear from the 2016 grand final.
That's right. We went to the Cronulla Sharks grand final against the Melbourne Storm in
I was there.
2016. You were there as well?
Oh, big Sharkies fan.
Oh, you're a Sharkies fan. So I
you
thought
know
from
it.
the east you might just
Yeah,
be.
I know. So Dad grew up in Cronulla
Shire,
actually.
yeah.
So down at Cronulla High, just around the corner there. So I guess when someone grows up there, you don't really have a choice who you go for.
Yeah.
So and it was also good because Sharks are surprisingly really good against the Roosters. It's one of the teams that they always
know.
beat.
Yeah.
And so I've got obviously mates that I went to school with through primary school, high school, who, are big Roosters fans. So I'd always back the Sharkies to beat the Roosters, and it's a great time.
Well, once Owen and I went to a game and we were getting smashed by the Roosters out at Allianz Stadium, and at halftime it was like 50-0. And they put up on the big screen the odds for Sharks to win, and it was paying 100-1. And we were like, nah.
we laughed and we were like, imagine if you put $10
Yeah.
on
Did you
that.
put $10 on
Chuck
it?
a tenner on that.
$1.
And we came back and last minute I think we kicked the goal to win, and it was great. Yeah, Sharkies are pretty good.
Yeah, we deserve that one because my childhood is just absolutely brushed with Sharks losing it in the last 15 minutes of a game sitting on Family Hill at Shark Park in the cold, and then you have to do the 45-minute drive back down to the Eastern Suburbs.
We've all been there, mate. But we've got the headgear because it was Michael Innes's last game for Cronulla in the grand final. We all wore headgear, and I've got a dress up box, so I've got it all saved. And
We'll bring it down.
I'll bring it down because I think it could help. I
don't know where mine is.
On that note about the punting and the Sharks grand final, that night, I'm not a very good punter. I don't do it a lot.
Please tell me you got on Luke Lewis first try.
No, it wasn't Luke Lewis' first try.
Well, he didn't get it.
No. So I was on Benny Barber first try
Shit.
and Andrew Fafita anytime try scorer.
No, you
because
were
they're my
not.
two favourite things. Thought I put $50 on them, put $5. So there's if you've ever been to ANZ, there's a beer garden out the front, and me and my mate Ryan Taylor had a really good NRL skinful and had a few too many beers, and I put it in wrong, and I put it out, and we're expecting to have thousands of dollars. Andrew Fafita's a prop, paying about $14, $15.
Did you roll it into, did you have them as separate bets?
We did it on the tab machine, so again, famously not good at betting. Didn't know how to do that, but so it was two separate bets, and it still paid a fair bit of money. We took out like $400 or $500.
Oh yeah, it's paying well.
But it was I still get slack on it every single night, especially when it's his round. He's like, no, you remember that time at the NRL grand final?
Yeah.
Your round.
Literally, that would have been paying.
It was
100
yeah.
100 to 1.
Jeez, and when that last try went over with Andrew Fafita, wrong podcast.
Yeah, that's right. You can come on our Sharkies podcast.
Yeah,
when we do
we
it.
actually used to do a Sharkies podcast, and it's actually a lot better than this one.
I tried to find it because you guys mentioned that, and being a Sharkies
well,
fan.
we
It's
did
just on Facebook.
We did. No, it's on SoundCloud.
Is it on the Sharks will win a grand final before I
before I die.
I did. I
Is
think
that
I did
correct?
post it there at one point.
We pretty much did one podcast a month for the whole year of that, our grand final victory lap. And we did a podcast the night before the grand final. We had a big bet on. So we had a bet that the Western...
It's on the wall. Where is it?
It's in the spare room. But
Okay.
it's the Western Bulldogs were going to win the AFL grand final and Cronulla were going to win the NRL grand final. And like both teams were underdogs. And Owie had this like
I had
prophecy.
a premonition.
You do look like Jason.
No, I did. I said, boys, we need to get on this bet.
Yeah, like a few weeks out as well. It was paying a lot.
Yeah.
And it got up, and it still isn't the best story of the night. Because, we were celebrating, and then someone like 20 minutes later was like, the bet, we won. Like, he started going crazy. But the best thing about our 2016 grand final experience is we got a bus in, and we had a few beers on the bus, and not many people on the bus, and we kind of got amped. It felt like we were the players. We felt like we were going in to play the game. We had a footy. And I hop off the bus and I just put in a grubber kick.
Tim's really good at grubbers.
Put up this grubber kick and Owie starts chasing it and it just pops up perfectly for him. But we're on concrete and Owie dives.
You got to dive. You always got to dive.
Popped up like
You got to dive. It's almost impossible not to dive.
I couldn't not dive. That's it. It popped up and there was a hedge right in front of me. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just go full 2-foot dive horizontal. Caught the ball thinking I'd land into the bush and it'd be
that's
sweet.
why we won.
Well, that's right. I've gone straight through the hedge onto the concrete, bang, hit on my collarbone. I broke it 3 times. And
Is this afterwards or beforehand?
this was before.
Way before. This is 10 a.m.
Yeah.
We got a whole day ahead of us. Owie's day's over.
And
you didn't miss it, did you?
somehow it didn't break. I just was
And then from about 10, 20 meters away, this big security guard goes, "Oi!" And we're like, "Oh, he's getting kicked out. Like, he's not even going to get to watch the grand final." He goes, "Oi, clean up the bush there, mate." And I was like, "Sorry, sir."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm so sorry.
literally, I don't think I've ever been. I was just so pumped, full of adrenaline. I've never been that airborne before.
Yeah.
And so if there's footage of it somewhere, somehow, obviously there's
Did you hear the rumor about some of the boys trying to get an airborne body surf?
A what?
An airborne body surf?
How?
Cause Cute Boy was sort of having a chat the other day and he's saying a couple of them are trying to do get enough speed off one of the lips or something to get an airborne body surf.
Yeah. I've been thinking about
The
that for a
Hawaiians
long
have been
time.
talking about how they're almost there. Like, I think 2 Womp-Offs ago when they were out here, they were talking about hitting the lip and getting a bit of air. But those guys can do anything.
Now,
That would be cool. Sorry to bring it back to body
no,
surfing.
that's fine.
We
We won't be
occasionally
getting this
talk
guy
about
on
it.
again. If they want to do it, if someone wants to do it, I think this weekend could be the weekend that it happens. Now we're getting another system pushed down the east coast, a little ex-tropical cyclone. I don't know what its name is. Do you know what its name is?
No, but I'm busy Sunday, so if it wasn't on Sunday, that would be great.
No, well that's all right. You can go Saturday.
Saturday,
There's a little break wall down at the opening of the Shoalhaven River. Now you need to take a ferry, like a boat, car ferry, to get over there. It's like Coomera Island or something. That break wall, when the nor'easter hits it with a south wind, it's offshore. Nor'easter hits it, it wedges up. It's like pretty much a right hand to the wedge. Not as good, but if there's a cyclone swell coming, it could be on. And I think if you're going to get airborne, you're going to need to do it on a wedge.
So from a guy who walks to the beach every day,
How are you going to do
down
it?
south, a ferry, probably another walk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you can pretty much drive
Can't wait
straight
for
to
the
it.
photos though.
Yeah. Well, I can't do it this weekend. I was actually going to go to Byron this weekend.
The Surf Fest.
Yeah. Corey and Ricky are going up. I was going to go stay with Daryl from the Goldie Sliders.
Not Braithwaite.
Not Braithwaite,
Okay.
No. He's going to be down here.
He's the guy the concert.
he's doing the firefight.
Yeah, got tickets.
Oh, really?
Oh, did you? I was going to get tickets too.
got 'em.
Because I was like, Ice House.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't wait for Peking Duck following into Daryl Braith.
Oh,
horses.
yeah,
So
that's
you
right.
Got a drop, and then you've got everyone singing.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. It's going to be televised, so if anyone wants to watch it, Channel 7, live
right.
from 1 p.m.
No free ads.
No free ads here. But, I decided I wouldn't go because I'd like to see John Farnham just in concert by himself and Ice House by themselves because they're just going to play like 2 or 3 songs. I'd rather see the whole repertoire.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to try and check out this break, it only breaks every now and then. But shout out to the potty listeners.
Yeah,
get down there.
Go and
have a little adventure.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're almost out of time. I have one more note that I've written on my little coaster card here. I don't really remember what this is about. I wrote it down in our pre-interview. It's about the ESBS Christmas party. You wanted to mention something that happened there?
I don't know.
Maybe just how good it was.
It was a good party.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good party. We had the many beers. I think we were at an Irish pub, the only Aussies at the Irish pub. In Randwick. Yeah, and Ricky. And Ricky. And it was pretty good. There was many beers. There was definitely a couple of rounds of shots that went on between, the Barrel Pig, myself, Johnny, who's he's a really good body surfer as well. It definitely went on into the night. It was a good one. Yeah.
Nice.
Someone might have woken up on a bed lounge of mine, and we went for a very, very rough swim the next day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And like what we did at Womp Camp, we got Ricky drunk and then we started making some business deals with him. I think you sorted out some of your work stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how much I can talk about that.
But it sounds really good, so I'm real happy for you. And
Yeah.
Ricky, thanks for supporting everyone, especially when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Now, Timmy, just before we go, we've got a wave of the week because this is our first official episode.
We're bringing
for the
back
year.
the much loved segment.
That's right.
Sponsored by Keel Down Under.
That's right. Uga. Shout out to Uga.
Shout out to Uga doing his keels on the weekend, and it was cold and shelly.
Yeah.
And he gets down there and instantly regrets his decision. And I think he's roped his mate Jesse into also wearing the keels. Yeah. And they were complaining the whole time.
And a line from you on the weekend, which was quite funny. They were uncomfortably tanned.
So tanned. Like those two boys are very tan. I guess that's how you breed them down in the Shire.
Yeah.
But they are very tan boys. Like I'm in the surf every single day and still offensively white.
Yeah, solariums are still legal.
Yeah. Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
but they are
in the
very
Shire.
tan boys.
Oh, they are. They're like... They're like Adonises.
Yeah.
Like Greek Adonises.
Yeah, they're good men.
I like it.
Yeah, they get around it.
Timmy, I don't think I've ever seen you with a tan.
They rig up.
No, as if I'm going to be able to tan.
You should get a fake tan.
I like
We should.
like an orangey tan.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Bondi Sands. I think that's a thing.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Okay, let's get into the wave of the week, which you've been hashtagging wrong.
But you've been doing the wrong
I
hashtag.
have been hashtagging wrong because I looked at my thing and I'm like, I'm going to win this. It's just me.
Yeah. It's actually hashtag Keel. WOTW.
Yeah,
which
I think
is
I've been
wave
spelling
of
the whole
week.
thing out.
Yeah.
That's a long hashtag.
It is a long hashtag.
No, so that's why we've shortened it.
Sure.
Keel, WOTW. And if you hashtag that, I'll have a look through the photos. We'll have a look together, me and Timmy and anyone else who's on it. We're like, that's the one.
Yeah.
So we've got one this week. It's from Grant _LY. No, you didn't win. Sorry, Rob. We can't give the prize to someone who's actually
and you've
on
got to
here.
fix the hashtag before we can win.
Yeah, well, no, the hashtag's fixed.
No,
you've got to fix
Robbie
it.
has got to fix it.
So Grant _LY. Are we saying Grant Lee or Grant Lie?
Guyton Grantley.
Grantley.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Grantley.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a nice little right-hander. And Super Biscuit actually posted...
That is a very nice photo. Yeah.
Yeah, he posted the photo from DG Photography 264. Nice little wave there. Oh, it's gone. It's refreshed. The page is refreshed. But he looks like he's wearing a little hood, so it must be cold wherever the photo's getting taken. I might bust my hood out soon. I
Surely not.
Yeah, well, the water was cold the other day,
It was
man.
sort of colder. The only reason we were in wetties is because we knew how shelly it was going to be.
I was still in budgies. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was at Budgies at Coogee today. It was fine.
Fine,
It
mate.
was fine.
Seaweedy, but fine.
Oh, yeah, a bit of
Really
seaweed.
seaweedy today.
Oh.
I felt like at South Cronulla as well, I felt like I was just like swimming in it. Like, because you can't just sit on top of the water like you would on a board.
You have to swim on top of the on top of the seaweed.
Yeah, I know. It's like...
You used to say the seaweed was good to sort of soften your blow, like to sort of use it as like a pad mat.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
I don't know. I got one of the waves I got today. It sort of like bowled over, and so I got dumped a bit. It was great. But then when I came up, I had like a whole layer of seaweed on top. I thought a board was on top. So I tried to come up. Oh God, there's a board, and so kicking straight through, and I'm like in this like from my waist to my neck of seaweed, and I'm just like, you know what? I've probably had enough.
Yeah, I was getting scared that I was going to get stuck.
What is your scariest sesh.
Oh.
Scariest wipeout.
Oh, we should have asked you that.
Probably the
I'm doing the interview.
seaweed boy over here. No, I think Owie and I went to.
Tim did his knee.
Well, no, but that was small. The biggest I've probably been was probably either Tama, where I hit the bottom and it was like 10 meters down, just
Tama
hit like
gets a bit
hard
hectic,
rock or sand. And
Yeah.
I remember going out and these tourists were having a power walk and it was sort of raining and they looked at me and they go, "Mate, are you all right?" And I just was like, "No, no, I'm not well." And then another time, Owie and we went to Foster and had a really good surf and it was big.
That was big.
Then we went back the next day and I was like, "Let's go." I was really keen because the day before was so good. And I was like, "If you go out in that, you were going to drown." And I was like, "Yeah, fickle."
Yeah.
What about you, Rob?
I reckon one of the days at Tama, it was probably Tua, Paul, potentially just us three. Someone else went out there and it was big. It was pretty big. You know, it was like at 6-7 foot plus wave faces. You know, where and we got out the back and it was not too hard to get out of the back. And I got out of the back and I don't know if there's a little bit of panic or a little bit of asthma coming up, but my whole chest sort of closed up a little bit on me. So not only is it big waves, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about these waves, but I'm also like losing breath as well. And I'm just out there. And I go to Tua, who's a lifesaver. I'm like, "Mate, I'm having an asthma attack out here." Not only that, I don't know how I'm going to get back in. And so I was like, you know what, I just have to get one wave in and it wasn't, and I have to just call it, I guess your limits a little bit. And I got a wave and it was a really good wave. And I got the wave and I was like, wow, that was a really good wave. Maybe I do want to stay out of here.
It's always the case, eh? You go, you get one more wave and it's like,
and then, but I was like, no, okay. And when I came in, I was like, and that was probably one of the more scared times because it was pretty big. And for me, it's always about how do I get back in if I get dumped, and am I going to be able to hold my breath a lot longer? Because I'm not the greatest swimmer out there. Flippers make the world of difference for me. But it's good fun still. You learn from it. I think I'd probably do better next time.
How about you, Owie? What's your scariest?
Well, mine was surfing voodoo for the first time, and it wasn't that on.
Where's that?
Where? No one knows where it is. It's a mystery.
Like Sydney, Melbourne, Victoria?
It's in Sydney.
Okay.
It's in Sydney. It's in Cronulla. Anyway, so it wasn't really on that day, and we decided we'd go out. We're actually with our mate. What's his name? I forgot. He's getting married. Your mate,
Jamie.
No, our mate,
Stephen.
Married.
Yeah, Billy Butler.
Oh yeah, he got married. He's having a kid.
Yeah. Billy Butler was. He took us out. Took me and Liam Wynn out, and he was on a surfboard. And I was actually really hungover. And I know, believe it or not. And it was just flat, and we kind of swum through the break zone because we're like, it's flat, it's fine. And then it just jacked up for some reason, and I was caught on the inside, and it was just wave, and it's just rocks there. And I go, this is it. Like if this doesn't stop, it's like I'm done. Yeah. And thankfully, after another minute, when I was like proper cooked, it subsided and I got out the back. Yeah. And then I was just freaking. I was out the back just getting my breath back and going, I need to be smarter about what I do, especially like swimming through the break zone at Voodoo, which is just a no-go on any day. You're right. Push your limits, but not... don't go over them.
And make sure you have people around as well. It's always good. Like, I'm so lucky that I get to surf with like really, really good body surfers. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's always someone that is around that I know is probably better than me. I don't know if they'll help me if something actually happens. They probably will. They definitely will. Yeah. But it's good because, you get to watch how they do it and the route they take out. And you know that it's not, you're not going to be left alone if something does go wrong as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, we better get out of here. Do it all again real soon. But as a super fan of the show, Robbie, would you like to sign off tonight?
Are you going to lead into it?
And remember,
it's always overhead when you're body surfing.
Bye.
See you.